Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. My name's Mahala and this is Ala Mahala. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do furniture flips, DIY projects and room makeovers as well. I have fun trying things in my own way, you know, finding my own style, the Ala Mahala way. It's time to jump into today's project. By the end of this flip, they're going to look very nice. And I've decided to use a very bold color. Well, I don't know if it's a bold color, but it's definitely not a neutral color. However, it is a super popular color in this 2021 trend that we obviously all adhere to. Trends, love them. I will share the color with you a little bit later, but the first step of any furniture flip, as you probably know if you watch other furniture flips or have seen my first couple of videos, is to clean the piece, or pieces in my case for today. So I am going to use the classic Dawn dish soap. It has degreasing properties in it, so it's just going to cut through any of that grime that has been left on there from the previous owners. I'm going to fill up my two-sided water bucket with Dawn dish soap on one side and then warm plain water on the other side. Get to cleaning these and then we can move on to the sanding and many repairs. Let's go. Let's go. I need to work on my transitions, I think. Before I start the cleaning process, I like to remove the hardware first because there's always a little bit of grub and grime that gets stuck underneath the hardware that if you don't get on the first go, you're gonna have to clean again. And nobody likes to clean that much. With all of the hardware in my little hardware container, I'm going to mark off the drawers with numbers so that I actually remember where they go, and then jump in and do the big deep clean and assess all of the damage. There's a lot more than I thought there was, so. So I've got quite a few problems that need to be solved. There's a lot of water damage, there's a lot of scratches and grooves and wood that's chipping, wood that's completely snapped off and is being held on by tape. I'm going to get to doing a whole bunch of repairs on this so that I can get this piece prepped for sanding. For some of the water damage on the top where the particle board underneath has actually raised, I'm going to try and cut a little bit of that out that I can fill in with my Lepage wood filler instead. I've seen other YouTubers do this, so I think that that's the way to go with the water damage on this laminate piece. I've let both of these nightstands and the drawers sit for probably about an hour with the wood putty on there, so it's now nice and dry, which is great. So it means that I can get in and sand it, and I'm actually going to use a 320 grit sandpaper on my, what brand is it? Bosch, on my Bosch sander, and use my dust extractor as well. In saying that though, even though my dust extractor is incredible and it sucks up pretty much all of that dust, I will still wear my mask and of course these bad boys, because that dust extractor, so loud. Time to gear up and get to sanding. I have sanded that down as best I can, but for now it is time to dust this off and then get on the primer. And the primer that I'm going to use is the Fusion Mineral Paint Primer. So it's the Ultra Grip Bonding Agent. And it's perfect for laminate pieces, which is why I'm going to use this, because while some of this is solid wood, other parts of this are laminate. So this is what I'm going for today, and it basically just says that it's ideal for surfaces that are high gloss and can't be scuff sanded. Well, I've been able to scuff sand this, but it will just adhere better and it will go on milky in its consistency and then dry clear. I really love Fusion Mineral Paint. I think the one thing for me that I do struggle with a little bit is the wait time. So putting this on, then needing to wait 12 hours before I can actually apply my first coat of paint. Then it's the same thing for the top coat with Fusion. You have to wait 12 hours before you can pop on the top coat after you've painted it. But I love the product, so you know, if you want the best results, sometimes you gotta wait. Time to wipe it down, tape it off, and then get this puppy on. So it is now finally time for me to reveal the colour that I have chosen for these nightstands. Pressed Fern by Fusion Mineral Paint. I really love this green colour and I've been desperately desiring to try it out. I love Fusion Mineral Paint because it is zero VOC paint, which means I can paint inside, and that's fantastic because I have my basement set up as my workshop and I don't really have space outside to just be painting things and leaving them because I live in a unit block. Just not gonna work. Fusion, I love you. Thank you for being zero VOC. The Pressed Fern colour is this gorgeous deep green colour and I'm very excited to finally be testing it out today. I haven't used this colour before, so today's the day. So the first coat of paint is on. It's definitely looking a little sparse. That typically happens with the first coat of paint. You usually need at least 2 coats. I think to get the coverage that I'm wanting for this, I'm going to need 3. I'm going to need 3 coats of paint, just to ensure that I've got that really deep green and that there's nothing popping through. But I'm going to leave this for about 2 hours, 2 hours? Yeah, I'm going to leave it for about 2 hours and then come back and check out what the coverage is like on that second coat. So I wanted to do a close-up of the parts of the nightstand on the top where I actually had to cut into it to remove the water damage and then fill it with wood filler so that we've got a nice smooth top. And I wanted to show you a close-up of that where I'm painting the second coat so we can see what kind of coverage it has, which will, I think, be helpful for other people who may have a similar problem with something that is a laminate piece with MDF underneath and there's water damage, you know, basically just showing you the whole process. It's always good to have the option to be able to flip not just wood or solid wood pieces or wood veneer pieces, but to be able to flip, you know, some laminate pieces as well. Sometimes they're a bit more challenging, but I think that they deserve to be shown a little bit of love and given a new life as well. I ended up doing 3 coats of paint, and then I noticed in a certain light that there are a couple of marks still visible. So when I did the repairs on the top of the, what is it called? On the top of the nightstand and also on the drawers, I filled in some of the gouges that were left from me removing the water damage, and also on the drawers where the hardware had actually caused a little bit of damage from indenting it. Instead of just putting on my top coat, which is what I was planning to do and what I was hoping to do, I have put some more wood filler on top of the paint, which will mean that I'll have to come back in with at least another coat, maybe even 2 coats, but just on the one nightstand on the top and on 3 of the drawers. So it's not everything, which is great, and hopefully I can just do it as like a little touch up. But if there's inconsistency in the paint color and tone, then I will have to paint the whole thing. So while we wait for the wood putty to dry and for me to come back in with another coat of paint on that, which to be honest I probably won't film, you've seen me paint enough, I will be, however, popping on some spray paint onto the hardware, which means we get to go outside. To the outside world we go. You guys, it's happening. It is time to top coat. I'm so excited. I don't know what I was doing with my hands there. Sometimes we do things we can't explain. That was one of those times for me. Most importantly, it is definitely time to top coat. I did have to come in and do some repairs that were unexpected, which meant doing 2 more coats of paint on some of the drawers and also on the top of one of the nightstand. But it's time to top coat now, and I'm going to be using my favorite top coat, of course, which you have already seen many times before if you've seen my earlier videos, and that is the Clear Tough Coat by Fusion Mineral Paint. I love this top coat. It is non-yellowing, which we love. It's water-based, it's a matte finish as well, although if you put a couple of coats on, I do find that the matte finish turns a little bit more satin in my personal opinion. To pop this on though, you have to wait 12 hours after painting before you can put it on, which personally for me is the only downside to this. And then I've got my Country Chic sponge, which you can see a little bit of top coat on there already from the last flip I did, because I just keep it in a little bag so that I can reuse it. I don't want to waste these. They are not super cheap, not super expensive either, but you know, I just don't want to waste them. Now, to pop on the top coat, you do need to use a mister or to wet the sponge in some way. It just makes it streak free. I'm going to pop on the top coat now. I'm going to do 2 coats. Okay, let's do this. You guys, I completely forgot the most exciting part of this furniture flip, and that is wallpaper drawer liners. Now, if you have seen my previous video, I think it was the first one I posted actually, I definitely had what one would call an emotional breakdown over peel and stick wallpaper drawer liners. When I decided to do wallpaper drawer liners for this furniture flip, I made the decision to only buy 1 roll because I didn't want to have a backup like I did last time where I ended up wasting quite a lot. I believe in myself. I know I can do this. Pretty sure, like 99% sure. And I've got more of a game plan in mind from all of the things that I learned last time. So the wallpaper that I'm going to use is this one here. I got it from Amazon. It's just got this like sort of gold and cream floral, like old school florally design, which I thought would look very nice with the green and also go really well with the hardware that I have done in a, it's not ancient brass, why can't I remember it? Antique brass, in an antique brass. So I'm going to do that. I also have a couple of metal rulers to help keep my lines nice and straight. Got a pen or a pencil for measuring, a tape measure. I also have this craft knife kit as well. Let's do this. I'm so happy. Look, there are no words. I mean, look, I haven't even done the cut that I need to do here, but the wallpaper went on so much easier than the last time I was doing it. Probably helpful in that I actually could take these drawers out, whereas the previous drawers I couldn't remove. Oh my god. I'm so happy. Alright. Let's not get carried away. It has finally come to the time when I can do the last 2 steps of this furniture flip, which is protecting the wood and also ensuring that the drawers slide really well. I'm obviously popping on the hardware. So to protect the wood on the sides of the drawers, I'm going to use this boiled linseed oil. It's my first time using it, and having read the instructions, which I'm going to briefly glance at now because obviously I've already forgotten what they say. It's apply it sparingly with a soft cloth or a brush. So I've got both of those here. I've got just a microfiber cloth and also a chip brush just in case. It says wipe off any excess oil that has not penetrated the surface after 20 minutes to half an hour. reasonable amount of time. And then if I want to do a second coat, I need to wait 24 to 36 hours before I'm going to do that. So I'm going to test it out with a cloth first and see how I go, and if I need to, I can always use the tip brush. On the back of one of the drawers, the drawer slide is actually missing, so I need to replace that. I just jumped onto Amazon and I got this little bag here of drawer slides, like this. That is going to replace there. And then today I popped to the hardware store and I got these screws to replace it. Now I am actually going to replace all of the screws on all of the drawers. Now the reason I'm doing this is because the screws that are currently in place, some of them are sticking through a tiny bit. They're just a bit too long, they're not in straight. However, unlike with this one that doesn't have the current drawer slide on there, when I have a look at the back of this one, I've already changed one of the screws, so you can see that here. I put a new screw in. I'm gonna have to put the screws in here, here, and then in this midpoint, because these other screws are a lot thicker than the ones that I bought today. The nightstands are done. I am obviously happy, but before I get into the staging, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this week's furniture flip. I hope that you enjoyed watching the process and seeing these nightstands come to life. I think it's a pretty drastic difference between the before and after of these two, which we love to see. If you like furniture flipping, DIY projects, room makeovers, all of that sort of DIY lifestyle stuff, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, because I release new videos every single week on a Friday. But there could be some other sneaky videos thrown in there on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, so the bell notification is definitely important. And for some extra mahala in your life, hop onto the Instagrams and follow me on there. So I post regularly on my stories and share little things about my life, the flip projects that I'm doing, DIY projects, all of that sort of stuff. So you can kind of see like some little behind the scenes updates on there. I also have a TikTok, currently no videos on there, but there will be eventually. So if you feel like, you know, throwing a little extra love my way, you can also follow me on TikTok. For any of the products that I use in my videos, I do try and link them below. So if you're curious about some of those things, you can just hop on down to the description, click on that link, and it will show you the stuff. I think that just about wraps up the please follow me segment of this video, and we can now move into the reveal. Kick back, relax, pop those feet up, you deserve it, and check out the before and after of these two nightstands. Oh god. I wonder if I can turn this into a moustache.